Yesterday absolutely sucked and we hit rock bottom, but it's Dinger Tuesday, so let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and I'm struggling today. Let's just say that. We have hit rock bottom. It was a terrible 0-4 day. I've never started out this bad in a sport in any season, but here we are. So we're going to learn our lesson, and we can only go up from here. So we'll go over all those in a second. The hitter parlay ideas I gave out went 2-1, so they have now hit in 13 of the last 15. If you are tailing those, one of the guys didn't play yesterday, but let's get into the positive stuff. It is Dinger freaking Tuesday today, so that means another $20 giveaway. So here's what you got to do if you're new. Leave a comment below with the person you think is going to hit a home run, but to be eligible, you must leave the odds and the sports book. And then if we have more than one person hit a home run, the higher odds will win. Plus 400 beats a plus 200. If we have a tie with the odds, then it's the longest home run hit to the winner. And if we have a tie with the same player, no matter what the odds were on different books, we will have a Wednesday showdown. So leave that comment and go win Dinger Tuesday. Now, quick heads up before we get into the video. WNBA, that's right, we got 3 games on Tuesday. I will be giving bets out. They will be on X, they will be on Discord, which is where the write-ups will be, and also either on a YouTube short or on the YouTube community page, depending on what I have time for. But just want to let you guys know, had a nice 2-1 day on Sunday, so let's keep that rolling. But we got a 15-game slate. We got some stuff to talk about. But as you can tell, I am frustrated. I got the rally cap on, so we got to just hopefully this turns it around. We got a long season, about a third of the way or a little more than a third of the way done. So, but we got that baseball fun fact, so let's get into it. In 1979, Phil Niekro led the league in both wins and losses. Oh, by the way, he also led the league in innings pitched, hits, and home runs allowed, and complete games with 23. That's a huge mixed bag right there. He threw 342 innings. They aren't built like that anymore, that's for sure. But anyways, that was an interesting fact. I think we've had a fun fact about Phil Niekro already, actually. But in this video, we're going to recap yesterday like always, and it was just absolutely terrible. I don't even want to be here on the video to tell you how bad it is, but we're going to go through it because that's just what we do every single day. And then we're going to talk about those good hitter matchups. We got a lot of them. Good pitcher strikeout matchups. Give you the full pitcher report, and then give you our bets. They're not best bets. They are just bets at this point, and then wrap it all up with the bets recap. So hit that like button. Leave a comment below. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as we are on our way to 26,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for the support, even during these cold streaks. Baseball is rough right now, but we're going to turn it around. I do trust the process. But sorry for anyone that's tailed lately. But like I said, I'm confident we're going to keep grinding away. So let's get it started, and that means it's time for the bets recap. All right, there it is. Rock freaking bottom. Matt Waldron, K-ladder. If you didn't watch it, guys, let me fill you in. 2 Ks in the first inning, and then he ended on 4. And oh, by the way, he had 1-2 count to a batter, and the entire ball was in the strike zone. It was actually almost down the middle. The ump doesn't call it. He gets a base hit the next pitch. I mean, could it have been 5 Ks? Maybe. Obviously, it changes situations, but either way, it's baseball, man. I don't get it. 2 Ks, knuckleball looked nasty, and then after that, he was starting every hitter with like a 2-0 count. He was just working from behind all the freaking time. And we lose on the hook on the first one, and then obviously don't hit the other one. As a full unit loss overall. It wasn't more than that, but still. Tyler McGill, he was there. He had the third out, and then they reversed the call on a double play, which it was the right call. He was barely safe at first base. That would have been the end of the inning. Next hitter, Joey Gallo, who hits about 0-0-0 on the season with 4 home runs, hits an absolute bomb for a 2-run tater to go over 2.5 earned runs. But in reality, like, no excuses. McGill didn't look very good. Gave up a lot of hits, walked some batters. It just batteried. And then Mountcastle Tovar, I don't understand. I just don't get it. Tovar got a hit, I believe, but it didn't matter. Mountcastle even got a 5th at bat in the 9th inning. I mean, just leave it to me, guys. It's like 2 guys in a row where they have 5 at bats. That's a lot for guys that are hitting the ball well, great matchups, and they can't get a single hit. Unfortunately, I can't hit for them. Not that I would in the major leagues, anyways. But and then Ryan Nelson, we added very late. I love the read. He started to finally struggle a little in the 4th inning, but the Giants just made him look like a Cy Young Award winner in the first 3 innings. He got through the first 3 innings in like speed record time. It was unbelievable. That's just how it is. He's a guy with an 8 ERA at home, and he just absolutely dominates. So, I mean, that's baseball. So here we go. Here we are. There's only one way up, hopefully, and that's up. That's the record. My worst start in any sport. I've never been down this many units in any sport, But like I said, we're like 60 games into the season, so we got a ton of baseball to get going. But I got to be better. It just has to be. So that's the bets recap. But before we get into all the best bets at the end, we got to start with the good hitter matchups. All right, we got 13 good hitter matchups for June 4th, starting up there with Harrison Bader, 6 for 15. But how about Mr. Dansby Swanson, 7 for 11 with 3 extra base hits versus Chris Flexen? And then other than that, we don't have a ton of at-bats, not a lot of history today with some guys, but a couple on the right side. Nick Senzel of the Washington Nationals, 4 for 6. Vargas of the Nationals, 4 for 6, both against David Peterson. And then, Bo Bichette over there on the left, 4 for 7, not bad, especially against Corbin Burns. And then Cody Bellinger, 3 for 8, also versus Chris Flexen. So that's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Not a ton of huge names there, but hopefully you guys can find some gems and get some winners. So that's what we got. Let's talk some pitcher strikeout matchups. All right, we got 2 of them for you today, and it starts out with Mr. K himself, Tyler Glasnow of the Dodgers, facing the Pittsburgh Pirates in Pittsburgh. Pirates' 6th highest K percentage versus righties in the last 3 weeks at 25.4%. Glasnow, a ridiculous 95 Ks in 74 innings. But the crazy part about this is that when he's on the road, it doesn't even seem real. Like he has a 38.3% K rate on the freaking road compared to 28.3 at home, which is also incredible. But my goodness, a 10% difference there. But in his 5 starts versus teams that have the top 10 highest K rates in the last 3 weeks versus righties, he has 8 plus Ks in 4 of those 5. So in good matchups, he does pretty well. 8 plus in 4 or 5. And just a little side note, it's against his former team that he came up through the majors with, and the Pittsburgh Pirates. So just it probably doesn't help, but it's just a little note there. And then the second one, lefty Jesus Luzardo versus the Rays. Rays 5th highest K percentage versus lefties in the last 3 weeks at 25.2. Luzardo about a K an inning. But he, again, like Glasnow, has a good split here, but this time it's at home for him. 27.3% K rate at home, only 18.4. He's a below average strikeout pitcher by quite a bit when he's on the road, but he is at home here. So, and his last 4 starts were versus teams that are in the bottom half of the league, which means they had really low K rates. So it might be a nice buy low spot depending where the number drops and all that. But anyways, those are all the notes I got for you. Those are the best strikeout matchups for you today. And now let's talk the pitcher report. All right, here is page 1 with the first 8 matchups of the day. If you're new, all the averages are on the bottom just so you have something to compare it to. Just some things that stick out. First of all, Luis Hill. My goodness, for the Yankees. We talked about it before. Over 31% K rate, but he can also walk some guys. 12.4% walk rate. For the most part, he's been better lately. He started out the season walking quite a bit. And speaking of something else, Tristan McKenzie up there at the top, 13.8% K rate. Been starting to strike out a few more batters lately. And then we got Glasnow versus Jones. Jones has been kind of a little bit more hit and miss, but he's still been solid this year, especially for a rookie. And then other than that, we got Sanchez, who's had a great year in Philly. Corbin Burns, we all know about. And then Mr. Jack Flaherty, the innings eater, the stud himself. 2.5 expected ERA and 34% K rate with only a 3.8% walk rate. Just absolutely elite, facing Dane Dunning, who is not quite the same. That's for sure. 11.5 walk rate and you can see all the rest of the numbers with a 5 expected ERA. So, but that's what we got for the first 8 matchups. Take a screenshot. Hopefully this gets you some winners. Now let's check out page 2. We got Mr. Imanaga up there at the top trying to bounce back from the worst performance of the season when I tailed him. He got absolutely rocked by the Brewers. Going up against Chris Flexen, who's been okay. I mean, 3.92 expected ERA. It's surprising, but he has. And then someone who's been pitching better since he first came into the league earlier this year is Mr. Spaghetti of the Houston Astros up there. He has a 3.56 expected ERA, 25.5% K rate. Helped that I think his last start, the start before was against the Mariners, who swing and miss at everything. But he has been better lately, I will say that. Max Fried's been pretty solid all season long. Just an average K guy, but obviously, as you can see, he knows how to limit runs. He limits hard contact. Only 6.6 hits per 9 inning given up. And then we got 2 guys in Coors Field with good weather. They're in Ty Block and Frankie Montas, who do not miss many bats. 15.9% K rate and 12% K rate. That is absolutely atrocious, and that could lead to some runs. We will see. But George Kirby down there for my Seattle Mariners. He hasn't been as good as I wanted him to be, honestly. He was my dark horse to maybe win a Cy Young. He just hasn't done it. He's still been solid, but 2.2% walk rate is just absolutely ridiculous for him. And then other than that, we got Kyle Harrison down there, the lefty, versus Walston of the D-backs, who's, has barely thrown any innings and all that. So hard to tell there. But anyways, those are the last 7 matchups. Hopefully this helps you guys go get some winners. but now it is time to bounce back, and it's time for the bets. All right, this segment of the show is brought to you by our sponsor, Better Bet. That's BTR Bet, the best place to find, track, analyze, and share your bets. Click that link below in the description because right now use the promo code JABO and you get 30 days free plus a 7-day free trial. Limited time only. It's an awesome website. Really helps you out for those serious gamblers. But here's the deal today, guys. I know the bets have been struggling lately, but today I want to give you out some winners. But only 6 of the 15 games as of recording this the night before are even out on the sports books, and some of those don't even have props out. So I'm not going to force anything because my best bet wouldn't even be with all the games out right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 3 leans that I really like, and then my 4 hitter parlay ideas like we do at the end of every video. And then all my best bets will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. I know it's a little weird, but I don't know why these sports books are slow to drop these odds. But you know what? A little change wouldn't hurt anything, especially after our day yesterday. So let's get into it. My first lean, the Tigers' first 5 money line. I have no idea why this game got taken off the board, but I don't see it anywhere as of recording. So be sure to check to see if there's a pitcher change or anything. As of right now, it's still Jack Flaherty versus Dunning, as you saw in the pitcher report. Flaherty's been awesome this year. My only worry is the Tigers' offense, but this is first 5 money line, so I like that push value. So if it's even 0-0-1-1, it's still a push. You don't lose, so that's what I like. But I would expect this to probably be around -110 to -120. I could be wrong. But the crazy part is not only does Detroit have the better starting pitcher, Detroit has been the better offense. They've been top 10 in batting average, WRC plus, and OPS versus righties. And Texas has been about average in pretty much everything. What they do well is draw walks, but that's about it. So, I mean, Jack Flaherty's a beast. You guys know it. His over outs has been a huge prop this year. His over Ks, all that kind of stuff. But I think he is, well, I know he's the better pitcher than Dane Dunning, who's been giving up a lot of hard contact this year. So I like the Tigers to be ahead after the first 5. I don't want to mess with the bullpen, but again, I don't even know the odds because it's not out yet. It's just something that that caught my eye. So second one, it's the same game parlay. Dodgers money line. Tyler Glasnow 6+ Ks. This is -120. Glasnow, as we already talked about in this pitcher K matchup, I don't need to say it. Almost a 40% K rate on the road. 8+ Ks in 4 of his 5 starts against top 10 strikeout teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates. 6 seems like a safe floor. His line is actually 7.5. All I need is 6. Another option, if you don't want to do the Dodgers money line, you just take his over 7.5. But the Dodgers money line, I know this could be a little worrisome. Dodgers been a little hit and miss lately, but Jared Jones, the rookie for the Pirates, he's coming back down to earth a little bit. He's given up 3+ earned runs in 3 straight starts, 5 earned runs last game to the Detroit Tigers, and he's only had 14 Ks and 16.1 innings. Now that's okay, but for him, that's a little low. He's missing less bats. I think the league is catching up just a little bit. So the Dodgers, they have the advantage of on the mound big time because Tyler Glasnow is a stud, one of the better pitchers in the league. And then in the lineup and the bullpen. So I like the Dodgers to win. Glasnow 6+ K seems like a safe floor. Like I said, I think he gets 8+. Now this third one, before I lose my voice completely tonight, the over 10.5 in the Reds and Rockies game. We're talking really good weather in Coors Field. You gotta love that. If you saw game 1, it was 13-3. There were 16 runs, obviously mostly scored by the Reds. But we got Ty Block versus versus Frankie Montas. I lost my train of thought there. But the Reds, they're facing a lefty, which they've actually been average against lefties. Versus righties, it's been a struggle. Although last game they absolutely dominated. These are 2 guys that are very hittable. Not high strikeout guys. We're in Coors Field, probably 80, 85 degrees. But then the Rockies, I think they can get some runs. I like their team total over even. Frankie Montas has not been that great. He's given up 3+ earned runs in 4 straight starts. He only has 12 strikeouts in his last 21.2 innings. He's not fooling anybody. I think the Rockies can score. I think the Reds can score. Now, Ty Block has been pretty good at Coors Field. I will say that. He's had a couple good starts there, but I think the Reds in this environment now, and we're starting to see these summer months get closer and closer, better weather. I think team total overs will be better ideas, overs in games, things like that. Maybe some hitter props will hit more often, things like that. But either way, I like over 10.5. I think we get a ton of runs, 2 bullpens that I don't trust either on top of it. So over 10.5, Reds, Rockies is one lean. Dodgers money line and Glasnow 6+ Ks is another one, and then the Tigers first 5 money line. Only I think 1 or 2 of these is even out on the books right now. Like I said, there's just not much out there. So those are my leans. Again, best bets will be in the pinned comments on X and on Discord. But now let's check out the hitter parlay ideas. All right, I got 4 options for you right now. And like I said, I mean, there's like no props right now. I don't think any of these hitters are even out the night before. I just checked. So, but let's go over them. Ezekiel Tovar 1+ hit is the first option. Oh, and by the way, if you've been tailing these hitter parlay ideas, they've been 13-2 in the last 15, like I mentioned at the beginning. So it's been going well. Hopefully they can keep it rolling. But Tovar, he came through yesterday for us. Unfortunately, Mountcastle did not. But Tovar's hitting 400 the last 7 days, 1+ hit now in 23 of his 28 home games. He is dynamite at home in Coors Field. We just talked about the environment there. He's hitting 336 at home compared to 262 on the road, hitting 297 on the season. He's facing Frankie Montas, like we just talked about, who is a righty. He's hitting 307 versus righties, and Montas is giving up over 9 hits per 9 innings. So that's the first one. Second one, Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. How about hitting 462 in the last 7 days? The big man is picking it up. He's on a 7-game hit streak, 1+ hit in 15 of his last 16 games. That's right. He's been awesome. He's facing Andre Palante. He's a lefty. He's not that great, giving up almost 10 hits per 9 innings with only a 14.1% K rate, but it's only been 16 innings. I haven't loved what I've seen out of him, but he's easily hittable. I like Yordan Alvarez here. And then Jurickson Profar, 1+ hit for the Padres. He is hitting 429 the last 7 days, facing a lefty in Patrick Sandoval. Profar versus lefties, how about hitting 328 with only a 9.6% K rate? He does not strike out much versus lefties, loves hitting against them. And this is a very hittable lefty because Sandoval has given up over 9 hits per 9 innings. If you don't count the Yankees series, just take that away. In May, he played against the Yankees, Profar did. If you take that series away, he has 1+ hit in 18 of the last 19. So you want to add it, that's fine. He's 18 in the last 22. But 0 for 10 in that Yankees series in May. It just wasn't pretty. But now he's hitting leadoff because Luis Arias is hurt. Could get that extra at bat. I like Profar to get a hit. And then the fourth one is kind of a duh, but it's Aaron Judge. He's just a freaking beast right now. He is hitting 364 last 7 days. He has 2+ total bases in 14 of his last 20 games. Over 1.5 bases, and also an option. I'm going to look into that when the props actually come out. He's never faced Bailey Obear, but I mean, Obear's just an average matchup in regards to giving up hits. Not a huge strikeout guy or anything like that. But Judge, 1+ hit in 18 of his last 20 games. So, again, the point of our video is to give you as much info as humanly possible because I know you guys don't all just have a ton of time throughout the day to research bets. So these are 4 hitter parlay ideas. Maybe you got your own. You want to add one of these, whatever it is. And then I gave you those 3 leans. No official bets yet because of, night before like we talked about. So let's check out the bets recap. All right, for those people that just fast forward through absolutely all the info, which some of you already said you did, here is what I got, and you're probably going to be disappointed, or maybe not. I don't know, but leans for now. That's all I got. If you missed it, not many games are out yet on the books. Tigers first 5 money lines, last on 6+ Ks, and Dodgers money line, and over 10.5 Reds Rockies. Again, none of these are official right now, but these are just leans, something I like. And then hopefully we get a lot more out in the morning, and we go get I'm going to get a hitter parlay out for sure. Probably 1, maybe 2 of the leans, and then we'll see what else pops up and see what I like. So we got to get back on track. My freaking goodness. It is ugly. It's tearing me up, but I need to get some winners. So tread carefully. Whatever I do put out, it might be just half units because I like to preach this. I don't want to chase losses. I don't want to start putting a unit and a half or 2 units to get all my losses back. I want to stay steady. I want to make sure I get back on track. So I might be putting some half unit plays out there today. So that's what I got for you. Thank you guys for listening, for staying loyal, for commenting, liking everything, even during these cold streaks. I really, really appreciate it. But hope you guys get some winners today, and hope you have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you soon.